Hello, come in, you're right on time. Nice to meet you. So, take a seat, get comfy. So, I just want you to imagine this room now as your safe space, okay? So, you have come here to see me, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to listen. So, you have nothing to worry about in this room, okay? So, if you just sit back and relax. So, what we're just going to do on your first session is just get you comfortable, and we are just going to get to know you, get to know your personality, explore the things that you've been feeling and what you've been going through, and then we will carry that on to the next sessions, and we will help you as we go forward session to session, okay? So you've nothing to worry about, okay? I'm here to help, okay? So you just need to know that everything that's said in this room is confidential. No judgment. I'm not going to judge you, okay? So you can say anything. But the most important thing is that you're honest with me. Okay, nothing is going to go past this room, and if you don't disclose anything to me that could help you, then we're not going to get forward in your treatment, okay? So you just need to knock down any barriers that you've built up and just express everything to me, okay? But as I said, this first session is just going to be a warm-up. It's just going to be exploring you so that I can get to know you a bit more, and you can also get to know me a bit more and how I work, okay? So, the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, why are you coming to see me today? What made you come to see me? And then as you're just talking, I'm just going to write some notes, okay? So hopefully it won't be distracting to you. Okay, so why did you come here today? What made you book to come and see me? Okay. Yeah, you can elaborate a bit more if you would like. Okay, so was there a lightning moment that you decided that you needed to get any support with what you're going through? Or was it over a period of time? Okay. So it's important that you take your time when you're answering questions. If you need to take a little break and think about it, that's fine. I will just sit here waiting for you to answer the question. If you feel like you don't want to answer it, then we can come back to it at the end, okay? But we're going to start easy and build you up, okay? So the first kind of things that we're going to do is just ask you some questions so that we can get to know your personality and what you are as a person, how you kind of think and react to situations. So I'm just going to simply ask you some of these questions. Okay, I've just got some questions down here, and you just need to tell me whether it's an option 1, 2 or 3, or however many answers I'm going to give you, okay? And then you can then just say that answer, or if you want to elaborate and give me an example of a situation, then that's fine. Okay, so shall we try the first question to kind of get you in the feel of it, okay? So, question. When do you feel your best? 1. In the morning. 2. During the afternoon and early evening. Or 3. Late at night. Okay, so you can either answer saying the number, you can either answer repeating the answer that I gave you, and then if you want to elaborate, then that's absolutely fine. But if you don't, that's fine. And as I said, be completely honest. Sometimes it's best if you give your first thing that pops into your head. That's usually the most honest thing, okay? So I'll just read that question again. When do you feel your best? 1. In the morning. 2. During the afternoon and early evening. Or 3. Late at night. Okay, next question. So how do you usually walk? 1. Fairly fast with long steps. 2. Fairly fast with small steps. 3. Less fast, head up, looking the world in your face. 4. Less fast but head down. Or 5. Very slowly. So how would you usually walk? Okay. So, when talking to people in social situations, do you, 1, stand with your arms folded? 2, do you have your hands clasped? 3, have one or both of your hands on your hips? 4, do you kind of touch and push the person of whom you're talking to? Or 5, do you play with your hair? Do you play with your ears? Do you touch your chin, your face? Or kind of like smooth your hair down? Okay. So when relaxing, so not in this situation, but when relaxing, do you sit with your knees bent, with your legs neatly side by side? Your legs crossed, 2. 3, your legs stretched out or straight. Or 4, one leg curled under you. How do you usually sit? Okay. Next question, are you ready? You're doing really well, okay. So when something really amuses you, do you react with 1, a big laugh, 2, a laugh but not a loud one, 3, a quiet chuckle, or 4, a sheepish smile? Okay. When you go to a party or social gathering, do you make a loud entrance so that everybody notices you? 2, make a quiet entrance looking around for someone you know? Or 3, make the quietest entrance you can so that you stay unnoticed? Just remember there's no right or wrong answer, okay? Okay. So, when you're working hard and concentrating, and then you're interrupted, do you welcome the break? 2, feel extremely irritated? Or 3, vary between the two extremes? Okay, that's great. Okay, so this is just kind of a general question. Which of the following colours do you like most? Red or orange, that's number 1. 2, black. 3, yellow. 4, green. 5, blue. 6, white. Or 7, brown. Which colour? Okay. So, when you are in bed at night and you're just about to go to sleep, how are you laying? Are you stretched out on your back? Are you stretched out face down? Number 2. 3, on your side. 4, with your head on one arm. Or 5, with your head under the covers. Okay? And then, while you are asleep, do you often dream that you are falling? Number 1. 2, fighting or struggling. 3, searching for something or somebody. 4, flying or floating. 5, dreamless sleep. Or 6, your dreams are always pleasant. And I know that some of them will probably cross over. You might have a few of them, so you can say a number of them. Okay, so how was that as a kind of warm-up of questions to get you into it? Okay, so has it got you kind of in a reflective mood? Good, good. And sometimes it's nice to kind of break down those walls, open any boxes that you have built in your mind, and just kind of let honest answers come out, okay? So the next kind of set of questions that I'm going to ask you are kind of related to anxiety and whether you feel kind of anxiety or panic. So it is very important that you try and answer these as honestly as you can, and if you want to elaborate again, please do. So I'm going to ask you if you felt over the last month any of these symptoms, and then you can answer by saying not at all, just a little, sometimes, often, or usually. Or if you don't want to use those, then use your own answer, okay? So over the last month, have you experienced a pounding heart? So remember, not at all, just a little, sometimes, often, or usually. Okay, over the past month, have you experienced sweating? Not related to sports. Okay, over the past month, have you experienced any trembling or shaking? Okay, well done, you're doing very well. Just keep going. Okay, over the last month, have you had any shortness of breath? Okay. Over the past month, have you felt afraid or scared? Okay. Over the last month, have you had any chest pain or discomfort? Okay. Over the last month, have you had any nausea or abdominal distress? Yep, just answer however you want. Okay, over the last month, have you been feeling dizzy or unsteady at any point? Dizzy or unsteady? Over the last month, have you had a fear fear of losing control or going crazy. That's it. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer. Over the last month, have you experienced any numbness or tingling sensations? Over the last month, have you had any chills or hot flushes? Okay. Over the last month, have you experienced a fear of dying? Okay. Over the last month, have you experienced any constant or persistent worrying? Okay. Over the last month, have you experienced a feeling of choking? Okay. Over the last month, have you experienced not being able to relax at any point? Okay. And over the last month, have you experienced a feeling of everything being unreal? Okay. You're doing very well, okay. You okay to continue? Yeah, okay. Over the last month, have you been feeling nervous at any point? Okay. Over the last month, have you felt shaky or wobbly? Over the last month, have you been irritable or had any difficulty sleeping? Okay. Over the last month, have you experienced any trembling hands? Okay. And then over the last month, have you felt that you've had to avoid any situations because of anxiety? Okay. And then the final one, okay. Over the last month, have you felt lightheaded or that you are going to faint at any point? Okay. That's fine. Well done. Okay. So that's those set of questions over. So that's kind of just seeing what state of mind you're at the moment and kind of your reactions to certain situations. And that kind of covers things quite minimally really, and then we're going to dive more deeply into further sessions, okay? So have you got any questions for me at this point? Yeah, okay. So again, I'm just going to go through some situations. So these are a bit different, these questions, okay? These ones here. So these ones, again, you can answer with however you want, or you can use not at all, just a little, somewhat, moderately, quite a lot, and very much. So that's just examples of what you can answer if you can't think of anything else. But again, just use what first comes into your mind, and then be completely honest with yourself and completely honest with me. Okay? You're doing great, okay. So, this is just the first question. At times, do you tend to talk or speak much faster than normal? Yeah, okay. Right, where were we? Okay, yes, I see. Did you used to be much more active and enjoy doing more activities previously than you do now? Okay. Do you sometimes feel very hyper or very irritated? Irritated. Okay. Have you felt both happy and sad at the same time? Okay. Just a few more questions. Doing really well, okay. Just stick with me, okay. So, just answer honestly, okay. Do you think about sex more than you used to? Okay. Sometimes, do you feel like you can do no wrong? And other times, do you feel like you can do nothing right? Would you like me to just repeat that? Sometimes, do you feel like you can do no wrong? And then other times, do you feel like you can do nothing right? Okay. So, at work or at home, have you noticed a change in the quality and quantity of your work? Okay. So, do you sometimes find yourself shouting, yelling, and starting fights or arguments for no reason? Okay. Have you an example of that? Okay. You okay for me to move on to the next question? Do you have moments when you feel bored and others when you have a fountain of ideas coming out of your head? Okay. Are there times when you want to hang out with friends and others? And then are there other times when you want to be alone? You can elaborate if you would like. Okay. Do you go back and forth between feeling hopeless and feeling hopeful? So do you go back and forth between feeling hopeless and hopeful? Hopeless and hopeful. Okay. have you had moments when you can't stop crying and then others when you can't stop laughing? Okay. And then just a final one now. Do you have times when you can't sleep at all, while at other times you sleep too much? So times when you can't sleep and other times when you sleep too much. And what is your sleeping pattern like in general? Okay. Okay. So, how did you feel about all of those questions that I just asked? Yeah? And did you feel that it helped kind of opening up slightly? Yeah? So, the session today has just been about getting to know you a bit more, kind of getting you into the swing of things. Sessions going forward, they won't be as structured as this, in that I'm going to ask you certain questions. And next kind of sessions are going to be more free-flowing, where we have just a kind of general flowing conversation, whereby you will be doing most of the talking, not me. And then I will kind of respond to you however need to be, but in general it will be you discussing things to me. Okay? How do you feel about that? Yeah. So these sessions, as I said, are completely confidential and they're completely judgment free. You can just be honest with me, and if you have any random thoughts pop into your head, then that's fine to just project them into our sessions, and then we can kind of explore anything that you wish, anything that you're worried about, any anxieties, anything that's happened over that last week. Okay? And then we will kind of go into your past and look at anything that's gone on in your past and what's led you to come to me today. So these kind of answers, you can't answer them right or wrong, but they kind of give me a sort of person profile as to what you are kind of like as a person and how you think up here. But as I said, people aren't black or white. There's lots and lots of things that can go on as a person. So people are very complex. So there is no right or wrong answer, but it just helps me kind of see how you react to situations. So we're not going to put you in a certain box, depending on how you've answered these questions. It's just kind of a warm-up as to our sessions and to help you kind of ease you into it, okay? So you've done really well, and I'm pleased with your progress. From the first kind of moment that you came in, you seem much more relaxed now, and hopefully you do feel relaxed and you're going to go home and you're going to feel much more at ease and relaxed, and hopefully a little bit excited for your next session. Okay, so thank you very much for coming in today, and I'm sure I'll see you again.